Hey, I was raised Catholic until I was 12. And I, when I was 12, I decided that I didn't want to, that wasn't for me. And so I'm not religious. I'm kind of spiritual in a way. Like I believe in like good energy, bad energy, kind of karma kind of stuff sometimes, but nothing really structured. So, yeah.
For the middle three, when was the age when you were aware of your condition?
Good question. What was the age?
When you
The age when you realize. I'm sorry, all three of us.
Yeah.
The three
Hi.
on the inside.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. I was 7 when I knew I was different. It actually, I still remember like it was yesterday. It was a fall September day, and it just hit me like I just like was like, wow, I'm not like the other guys. Like they were all like roughhousing and like beating each other up. And I seriously was like hanging out with their sisters, playing with their dollhouse. And I remember they're like, young man, they're like, you need to stop playing that. And I was like, uh-oh. And then it occurred to me, I was like, I have no desire to be like them at all. So, 7 for me.
I see.
For me, it was 5, and being in a military household, that made it truly exciting. Because of the fact that I enjoyed playing some of the games the girls were playing. They made more sense. I remember, when I was in, later as it went on, in 2nd grade, they were trying to say, okay, you need to come play kickball with the guys. And I'm like, I'm over here playing. Fine, I'll come over. I kicked the crap out of the ball, and it went flying way the hell away. And I just turned around. I didn't even run the base. I just turned around, went over, and started playing with everyone else again. I was like, how the hell y'all? Play this game, go now. And so, that was why. I've been this way my whole life. It's not my fault.
Probably about 7 or 8. Wow, I can remember when I grew up, I was born in the country. So when I was born, there were never any guys close to my age. There were only these grown-ups who put me on their tractors to farm and things like that because there really wasn't any babysitters. And so, and if it wasn't that, let me tell you, I went to more funerals and weddings by the time I was 6 than most people do in a lifetime. Because there wasn't any babysitters. I had to wear a suit and tie. They put me in the back of the church with some crayons and told me to be quiet. And I had to make my own fun and games by myself because there wasn't anybody close to me. So after my brothers were born, especially my middle brother, and we moved to another town, there were people his age, and all, even though it's only like a year apart. I felt kind of close to him, but we went to this guy's house to, go get him. We were going to play out in the woods, play army, things like that. I mean, it felt all right, but, it didn't. And the guy's sister came to the door with her hair up in rollers, and I just smelled. I just said, I don't want to go with them. I want to be with her. I want to find out what she's doing the rest of the day on a Saturday, when her hair is taken down and what it looks like and everything. It just fascinated me to see this girl with her hair up in rollers. And I wanted to be with the girls. I wanted to dress when the girls, had dress, dress up in a suit and tie and, the hard shoes we had to wear. I'm sure the girls' shoes were probably hard too, but they didn't look that way. I mean, they were dressing in little dresses and, little handbags and little hats sometimes, especially on Easter. And, I just thought that was so cool, to be like that. And, when we go visit my dad's mom was a little different. Like I say, she was a missionary, so she didn't really, wear makeup or anything like that. But my mom's mom and her brother and his wife, well, it was a little bit different. So I would love, I could sneak into like my uncle's, my aunt's bedroom and look at her clothes and stuff like that. And I'd love to feel my mom's dresses and all. I mean, I thought they were oldish, but I thought they were so cool. And I wanted to dress with my mom, and I'd go in her drawers and mess with her jewelry. She'd get so mad at me. But I just thought that was more natural for me to do that. But I had to play a role. For many years, I had to play this role of being a guy, being James, being, yeah, I guess I'm going to be a minister just like my dad, and going with my dad to all these hospital visits and doing this, and and so I played a role for too many years. And I finally got tired of it when I found out that I didn't have to play that role anymore, that I could actually, when I started talking with people and finding out, wait a minute, I can actually do this, wait a minute, what now? I'm transgender, what? You mean I'm not alone? When you find out that you're not alone, you're not the only, you just feel like you're weird, you're not alone. You go, oh wow, this is so cool, there are people like me that understand what I'm going through. This whole world. And then when I moved to Nashville, oh man, hot dog, it's Christmas. Like this, and there's some of the ladies up there, and you meet so many other transgender people and get to know political stuff and all. There's a Dr. Marissa Richmond. I don't know if any of you know her or not.
History department.
Yeah,
She teaches history on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah.
Marissa's awesome.
She is really, really cool. She is my mentor. She has helped me so much to grow as a transgender woman.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. But that's 7 or 8, and it just, it's just blossomed.
To make the question more inclusive, why don't you guys jump in?
James, do you need to know the question?
That's so mean.
No. Thanks. But no. I really wasn't educated on transgenderism until I was like 16. Like, I didn't even know what gay was until I looked it up on like Encarta Encyclopedia, like on a janky like 98 computer or something. And like I read the definition, I was like, oh, that that might be me, But no, I didn't know what transgender was until I was like 16 or 17, and I just felt like I fit into that box and stuff, and I was like, oh crap, this is what I've been, my whole life, and I just didn't know that, there was a word for that. Like, I've always been really masculine as a kid and stuff, and it just was more of like a realization of, this is who you are, and this is where you fit, sort of. And and so like after that I made strides to change that, and I've been out for 2 years, so it's been hard. It's really hard, but it's just like and now like I'm really trying to like get some legal stuff situated so like I can be comfortable. I'm just trying to become who I see in my head already, and it's hard when you're being suppressed. When people see you in a different way, like every day of your life. So it's frustrating.
My parents will tell you it was age 1. As we talk about now, my mom, she's still trying to come to terms with it. But when she thinks back about it, she's like, yeah, 1. My first birthday, Cabbage Patch Dolls and all this other stuff. And I tried to stick a hand in the cake, it's typically what you do. And I screamed. They gave me this ugly ass monster, and I loved it. And so my parents realized there was something a little strange about me, and so my parents never bought a Barbie doll because of it. I wouldn't play with them. I did, my dad was like, maybe she's just a tomboy, And so my mom would try to put me in dresses at 2 and 3. I would scream. She'd put makeup on me, and I'd scream. You let me go around playing in the dark and be happy. My parents were like, okay, there's something definitely strange. So I came out as a lesbian when puberty hit, which was 12. It was very, very early age to come out with your sexual orientation. Because my head turned, when girls would walk by, and I was like, well, something's not right about this. And somebody called me a dyke, and I looked it up online. And that was about the same time that Ellen came out. Yeah, and my dad called her a dyke, and so I was like, hey, that's what I got called. And so I went online and realized it was a dam, and that didn't make any sense to me. So, so finally, after and it was like, see these words, and after about 7 different terms, it came to the word homosexual, and I was like, well, technically I'm a female, and I like, girls, so therefore I'm lesbian. So I did the whole fight power for 4 years, kind of feminism, and it just wasn't really